The issue of bestiality has been the talk of the town in Nigeria, seeing videos trolling the social media with young men and women making out with dogs and so on. Section 284 of the Penal Code Act says whoever does have a carnal intercourse against the order of nature with man, woman, or animal will be punished with imprisonment for a term that could be extended to 14 years and also liable to fine. It is against this backdrop that I welcome you to Let's Talk on DNTWOK. My name is Olujoke Masako with the topic Beastiality, a Game of Thrones. My guest is Mrs. Modupe Olatunde, a coach and a counselor. Before we delve into the program proper, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Please stay with us. Thank you so much, Mrs. Olatunde, for coming on the show again.
Thanks for having me. A lovely afternoon.
Thank you so much. So what is bestiality?
Bestiality, according to one of the definitions, says a sexual relations between a human being and a lower animal. I chose this definition because there is a word describing a human being. Now, using the word animal with a clarification of lower. That means animals, so that I don't see interested in having a sexual intimacy with an animal, with a lower animal. The definition went further and said, it is a behavior that is very, very cruel. It is a cruel behavior. It is not acceptable. And like you quoted from a section, it is even illegal. It is not acceptable by any means, by any way, by any form, for anyone to sleep with an animal. And what says, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? I don't want to use it as a Bible quotation or as a Quran quotation, but I want to use it. We use this a lot as a coach, because I was talking to another coach in US, a teenagers coach in US. She's a coach too, and she said, Dupe, the manners and the morals instilled in us while we were growing seems to have disappeared in the world. I said, no, it has declined. She said, no, it's not even in existence anymore. That if we are talking about it being declined, the situation won't be this terrible. I have a story of a young girl around me. I'm sorry, I have to bring this up. At age 16, she had triplets. At age 16, there was no form of education. She didn't learn any kind of trade. At age 16, she had triplets. The mother was actually struggling to even feed herself. Let's talk of the 6 children she had. And among the 6 children is the one that had triplets without a father. There was no one that accepted this triplet. I got interested in her. When I hear stories like that around my community, I live in a community where on a daily basis, I see things that breaks my heart. I cry sometimes. Sometimes I ask questions. Sometimes I have to help. But I live in a community where absurdity is the norm of the day. So I got curious and I was interested in her story. She came working with a neighbor of mine that runs a supermarket. And she became like a sales girl, I would say. Along the line, one of the triplets took ill. There was no money to take care of her. She lost one. She lost a girl among the triplets. She was working, I think, getting about 6,000 naira per month or so. But today I met a very beautiful young girl. The way she expresses herself, you will see she doesn't have any form of education. And I got her seated and I spoke. I spoke with her from the depth of my heart, and I even begged her, to find you've made this mistake. I'm sorry I'm coming up with this story. You've made this mistake. But at this point, it is high time you give your life a perfect definition. A mistake has been made, but you can still adjust it. You can still amend it and have a beautiful life. Honestly, I was so happy talking to her, and I gave her what I had. I thought she would actually pick a life from there, but no, I was wrong. Some things happened. One of the triplets took ill again, and she took permission from a place of work. Her mother was with one at home. And it was during that we even discovered that most of the times she sleeps at home just once or twice in a week. She tells the mother that our boss where she works asked her to sleep over. It was at that junction when those kids were sick that we discovered she's been sleeping around with different guys again. And some things happened, and there was a confrontation between her and her mother. It was during that at 16, you didn't see the way she was insulting her mother. It was during that conversation we discovered that the mother actually has 6 children for 6 different fathers. And at that point, I was like, oh, what morals was expected to be instilled in that 16-year-old girl? The mother is faulty. If care is not taken, that is how their generation will continue. The mother and the girl has kids already at 16, and yet she's sleeping around with different guys. No, ask me, let's talk to ourselves. What kind of discipline do you think she has? Not to talk of giving to the children she's giving birth to. Fine. I deviated, I'm sorry. But why I had to do that is, I have about 3 different teenagers. I have one who is 20, is a boy. I have another one who is 18, she's a girl. And I have another one who is 16, is a boy. They know their limits. They know it. They know they dare not pass their bounds. They know it. Behind me, they will say, Mom, she won't accept it. There is a standard. There is a standard. And you don't have to make me go through hell with the standard I've set. There is a standard. My daughter knows she dare not put on any kind of dress that is above her knees. Okay. That is the standard in my house. My boys knows they are not supposed to sag. They know wherever they go to, they have a family they are representing. So they shouldn't do anything stupid, anything foolish, or anything silly to tarnish the image of the family. There is a family name that has to be protected.
What will you call this end-time madness making the rounds on social media of people doing the ungodly?
Do you know why I went so deep about the foundation? It was intentional.
Yeah.
It starts from our homes. That is the truth. We have a lot of young ones that leaves their parents to go to school, talking about institutions. And you will see them live a different kind of life while they are home. And when they get to the campus, it's another one. To an extent, I won't put all the blame on the parents. To an extent, because we have some of them that are actually disciplined, that are actually well-trained, but yes, choose to deviate. We have some of them like that. But to a lot of them, when you prayerfully instill these morals in them, they grow with it. They grow with it. Unfortunately, the situation of the country, I use the word unfortunately because a young teenager that wakes up in the morning and has nothing to eat from the parents. It starts from there. Most of these young girls around me come to my house and I will be shocked when they will say they've not had anything all day. And when I go further to ask, what about your mother? What about your father? These young teenagers will tell me, they care less if we eat or not. That is bad. To them, it's like they don't have. The parents feel there is nothing I want to give you this morning, so sort yourself. In a situation where a child has been left to go sort herself, for our age, our wisdom could be, okay, let me go to this sister person. And when they get to the sister person and the person feels nothing goes for nothing, you want me to feed you this morning? Can you do this for me? When I was preparing for this, it was shocking when I read it. When those Yahoo guys, we make those girls sleep with dogs for rituals.
I was actually coming to that, I think this is not ordinary.
I felt it was hunger. It was lack that was pushing these girls to do such. A young girl was talking about this last week and she said, I had to speak with Bumi, my friend. I will keep mentioning her name because it's like our purposes in life are the same. She's so passionate about these young ones having a very beautiful life. And that is what my purpose is too. And Bumi said, Dupe, even if your parents do not have what to offer you to eat, even if there is nothing to offer you as a mother, there are so many beautiful ways. There are so many other nice, straightforward ways you can help yourself. And the young girl said, if she's only sleeping with dogs, she didn't commit. It's so funny when she said it. I felt, my heart, there was this part of my heart that was shattered. She said, I haven't killed anybody. That is how she was flaunting it on social media. She said, I'm only sleeping with a dog. Do you think 1.5 million is a joke? To her, the money is more. And you need to see this lady. She spoke on the social media and she was flaunting it, that 1.5 million is no joke. She can sleep with any other animal. And another was like, she gets satisfied more by a dog than a being. What could be causing this madness? Fine, it's not ordinary, but the love of money.
That's a
if your
reprobate
mind is
mind.
offering you 1.5 million for you to sleep with a dog and you accept it, even if it is not ordinary, it is the love of the money in your head that has led you to accepting the offer in the first instance. I can't, even if you offer me the all billion in the whole world, I won't accept such an offer. Personally, Modupeola, I won't even, why will you even offer me such an offer? I wake up every morning, I go about my business, and there is a word, the works of our hands will be blessed. I have something I'm doing. And to the glory of God, I'm satisfied with what my daily hustle is giving me. Why would anyone want to sleep with a dog for 1.5 million? It's not ordinary, but I think the love of money, lack of morals, lack of manners, discipline, zero level of discipline.
Zero level of integrity to nothing, just there.
Yes, zero level of integrity. Thank you very much. Zero level. You know, there should be this watchword. What will people say about me? How will people see me? Oh, my family name. She has a family, for crying out loud. She has a name. But all that means nothing to her. The only thing she sees is 1.5 million. That is very, very absurd. Her family name means nothing to her. We have a lot of names that has been from generation to generation. My father-in-law would say something. It is always a very happy thing to me. There is this joy it brings to my heart when my children goes to places and they ask them which of the Olatudes they are. And when they describe themselves and they link it with their grandfather, there is a special treatment for my children. Honestly, it gives me a very great level of joy. That is the meaning of, once they connect with their grandfather, there is this beautiful things they say about him. He is careful about the family name. And that is what every young one out there should be after. Protect that name with your life. When you are no more, what will people say about you? Zero level of integrity. That is a very, very, very important point in this topic.
Let's quickly move on to the next question. We are yet to recover from the Chrisland school kids video that went viral, the sex video, and stakeholders in the matter are trying to justify themselves by person blames. What's your take?
I'll still go back to how I started. Discipline from the home. I watched the video. I held my phone and I didn't know I was in tears. Should I use professionalism? Do I use tactics at which this girl was doing the thing? And for her age, where did she learn it? I watched the mother when she said her daughter was being framed up or was being set up or something. And at the point when she gave an apology, I watched a video or I read an article where the father said, no, the daughter never gave any kind of apology. To me, this is a shameful act. Where could she have learned all that from? The school she's going to is not just any kind of school. So I want to admit the kind of family she's from will not be any kind of family too. I want to assume. I'm going back to how I started, foundation. There is no way she would have learned all that from school. It's not possible. There is no way that would have been one of her subjects that she was being taught on a daily basis. Foundation. Foundation. If the stakeholders are trying to cover it up, trying to be smart about it, trying to be smart about it, it's already a clarion call to a lot of mothers. I'm leaving the fathers out of it. It's a clarion call to a lot of. There are three things I want to mention with this girl's case. We should not underrate our young teenagers. We should never underrate them. Don't just assume they don't know it. Sex education is becoming something we have to talk to those children about. We have to teach them now because they are learning it somewhere else already. We should stop underrating our teenagers. I think we mothers especially are doing a lot of that. We are underrating these girls. We believe, no, they are not, they don't know it. They don't know it. Already they know 1 million and 1 million things you don't even know through the social media. We should stop underrating these young ones. Then we should also stop overrating them. My daughter knows when she's outside, she's representing the family. I trust her not to disgrace the name of the family. We are overrating them. My daughter knows as a student, she shouldn't study, she shouldn't learn things that are outside our academics. We are overrating them. Let us engage these young ones. Let us talk to them. Let us know what they know. Let us stylishly get to know how much they know. The only way we can do that is by engaging them. Coming back to the case of the school girl, a lot of things went missing. Underrating, overrating. There was no form of engagement, perhaps, because she doesn't look like a novice. That girl that I saw doesn't look like someone that was doing it for the very first time. She doesn't look like someone that was being just introduced to it. So somehow, somewhere, she's been into it, and perhaps she's even a guru, teaching her mates already. And that is why I'm still dwelling on these 3 points. We shouldn't underrate our teenagers. We should not overrate them by thinking the things they should know, the things they should do. Sometimes we seriously need to get them engaged.
All right, let's quickly go on this break, and when we come back, we continue from there. Please stay with us. We've been discussing the issue of bestiality, which is a Game of Thrones in Nigeria. And my guest has been Mrs. Modupe Olatunde. She is a coach and counselor. So let's continue from there. Thank you so much, Mrs. Modupe, for standing by.
Thank you.
Well, before we went on that break, and at some time around, there was a time where you actually made mention of ritual. And I want you to buttress on that. Now, the videos of men and women, which we actually discussed, sexing with dogs, are actually troubling. And there is another one that is even more disgusting. People, guys being pooped on and then enjoying it. Now, I want to believe that is ritual. And you said it that even the Yahoo guys and all said they make ladies sleep with dogs for ritual purpose, of which those ones don't know that it's ritual purpose. They thought it's pornography. Now, How would we discuss that?
I am dwelling more on the foundation. Foundation matters a lot in this. Whether a young guy needs it for rituals, whether he needs it for fun, if there is a level of discipline in a lady's life, even if you're offered a free 10,000, there is a saying that there is no free lunch in London. Even if you haven't done anything and someone is offering you 10,000, you should be scared. If you're bred up the right way, you should ask yourself, what is it paying me for? What did I do? Yahoo guys using it, there are a lot of ways it's been happening. I have those people around me, they love giving me ride when I don't go out with my husband, when he doesn't drive me out. But I know they are into rituals. I know it. Very young couple. The guy is under 25 and the lady is around 20 or so. They have 4 cars worth between 5 and 9 million each. You don't have to tell me that their source of riches is not clean. I am over 40, getting close to 50. I am very, very hardworking. I can't even afford one of those cars. And someone that doesn't have any source of income, they don't do any kind of business, has about 4 different cars. Each time they want to give me a lift. Psychologically, I reject it. I am careful about it as an adult. So I had to put it into my teenager's head, to my girl. You don't just go on the road and someone you don't know, even if you know them, and you see the kind of car they are driving, match it up with their age, match it up with what they do for a living. Someone you don't know would not just come up to you and offer you 1.5 million. And the only thing he's asking you to do is to sleep with a dog. Your senses should be at alert. What good is my sleeping with a dog doing to him? Why would he want to pay 1.5 million for me to sleep with a dog he brought? I heard a song, an artist too takes ladies' pants on stage, and foolish ladies joyfully remove their panties and give it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, is that jazz too? Is that jazz? Discipline. I am laying emphasis on that. Discipline. It's not just about our teenagers now. I do a lot of it. In fact, my kids are scared that someday they will beat me. I meet teenagers on the road and I see their mode of dressing, I correct it. Okay. I meet teenagers on the road, I see the way they talk, I correct it.
Permit me to cut you there. Now, you're going on the streets, you say something, you do something. But it has to do with our geographical location. When you come to the Western world and you do that, it's trouble. Now, and if we're going to reach beyond Nigeria and to the world, how do we actually, because I see that the world is going crazy about morals. Morals have really, really gone down, and it seems nobody can talk to anybody. So now, how do we make sure that this kind of thing stop in the society? Even in Nigeria, beyond Nigeria.
You spoke about the geographical zone.
Yes.
Which, to an extent, is an added advantage to me here. I can do that around my community freely. In fact, they know me. They call me teenagers' mother around me. They know I have zero tolerance to any form of abuse, especially on young girls. But for me, luckily for me, it is allowed around me. So I don't keep quiet. And I know it is allowed. In fact, sometimes when I have to approach their parents, when I get so deep with them and they are open enough and I meet their parents, it is still discipline. There are things we teach these young ones and they grow with it. If it is not there while they are growing, it won't be there when they are adults. That is the truth. So for every one of us, in whatever way, find the lady shun you. Now, why would you want to do that? Some other person might not shun you. Some other person might really appreciate it. For the fact that a lady shunned you does not mean you should go back to your shell fully. I'm sorry to say that. There are some people that might appreciate it. But I would really like us to go back to the foundation. Yes, it starts from our home. There is something, the thing really went on that some charity begins at home. The word has been since we were growing. I mean, when we were growing, sweetheart, a child in a community is not just Olatunde's child. A child in a community is the community's child. It was a collective effort of the community to bring up a child while we were growing. All of a sudden, it is none of your business. She's my child and not your child. No, I have that mentality and I grew up with it. If I dare not do anything wrong when my parents were not around, anybody around the neighborhood that sees or notices, as soon as my parents arrives, that would be their welcome package. So because of that, every child around while I was growing were careful about things they were doing. Nobody was acting anyhow. Nobody was doing any lies to this extent. Honestly, no one can really explain it. So for as many of us that are hearing me, for as many of us that will be opportunity to watch this video, please don't let us have the attitude of she's none of my business. It's none of my business. I'm not her mother. It's not my biological son. No. A deformed child in a community will mar a formed child in that same community. You never know how they will come across one another. Every good thing you have instilled in that formed child will be taken away by the deformed child. So that is why you have to be careful about everyone around you. There was a day I was in a school and a girl accosted me and said, Auntie Dupe, is it right, 16, if I can remember, is it right for a father to be sleeping with his daughter? Because my father sleeps with me and my sisters. I am not telling you a story. I am not telling you something I read in the news. A girl, she approached me and asked me. For the very first time in my life, that was when I was handling such life. The girl was 16 and she was not even fully aware that what the father was doing to her and her sisters was wrong. She was keen to know if it was right for a father to be sleeping with his daughters, not daughter, his daughters. So for such a family, those girls need another family outside straighten things. So for all of us, it is a collective responsibility and we should stand up to it.
Thank you so much for that. And also to add that even with the police trying to get those people that were on the video about this bestiality and all, I think it's also going to help to stop all this madness. Thank you once again for coming on the show. We have to go now. Until next time when I come your way again with another exciting topic, I remain Olujoke Musako. Bye for now.